Next up, we have NewWorld, which will be presented to us by Logan Turk.
Hello, I'm Logan Turk, and I'm here today to talk to you about NewWorld modular manufacturing. So I'll have to thank Professor Sachs because he set this one up quite nicely for me. As you see here, the nuclear industry is facing a mounting cliff, and we're going to retire our entire fleet by 2050, and we need to replace that. And not only do we need to replace that, we also need to double that if we are going to meet our emissions targets. So that presents a huge market opportunity for us in the US. Not only in the US, it's a worldwide problem as well. So there's an extreme global market that we also see. There's $300 billion currently under construction, an additional $750 billion of reactors planned in the future. So the problem that we're facing is that current nuclear construction is extremely inefficient. Right now, for example, Plant Vogtle in Georgia is about $3 billion over budget and 3 years behind schedule. So that is a serious problem, and it's also contributed to Westinghouse filing for bankruptcy. We think we can do it better. So we're taking a page out of Boeing's book. They make big metal structures much more efficiently than we do in the nuclear industry, and they do it in a factory. As you see here, they assembled their plane very quickly and in an assembly line. So let's do a quick comparison of factory construction versus doing it on site. Some of you may be able to relate to this, but this is IKEA manufacturing and construction. IKEA, you take it to your house, and it takes you a very long time to put it together because you've never done it before. We do the same thing in the nuclear industry, unfortunately. So we need to bring a standardized process to our assembly of nuclear reactors. Let's also compare quality control. Another benefit of doing the construction in a factory is that you end up with the product you want to, not with a chair that doesn't work. So that's another benefit of bringing our assembly into a factory. So we've got the message in the nuclear industry, and there are many designers who are working on this problem, and their solution is small modular reactors. So what we'll do is we'll create multiple small reactors that will be assembled in a factory and then put on a truck or train to be shipped to the final site to be assembled. There are multiple companies working on this. Terrestrial is one of them, TerraPower backed by Bill Gates, but the furthest along is NewScale Power. They've submitted their design certification and secured funding for a 12-module plant to be built in Idaho. So here's what it looks like. We take the manufacturers, kind of like the iPhone industry. They specialize in small parts. They send them all to an assembly line in a factory where it's put together very efficiently, just like us. And then that is shipped to the final customer, just like when you receive an iPhone, the utility customer would receive their reactor. We specialize in the assembly process. So here's the life cycle of that. The utility customer places the order, and the reactor designer fulfills that order. They call up the component suppliers, and then the component suppliers send those components to us. We assemble them together, send it on site, and then a large EPC provider installs it for us. So our vision for this, we are calling the Terra Factory. You may have heard of the Gigafactory, and we think we can do 10 to the third better. We'll actually produce a terawatt hour of energy per year in our factory. So the way that we're planning to do this is through a joint venture where we bring together a manufacturing partner to leverage their expertise, financing partners that have the capital for us, and then also the Department of Energy has a lot of funding that they have earmarked for this and are very interested in this project. So we leverage all of these partners together to reduce the risk and make this manufacturing facility. We've assembled a great team to attack this problem and develop the project. We have extensive experience in the nuclear industry, and not only that, we also have many connections that will enable us to do this. We're looking for a seed round of $2 million in funding to further develop this and bring our team to 10 members, and also apply for a DOE loan guarantee, and then we will secure our manufacturing and financing partners. Here, let's look at some numbers for what we project. We look at a positive net income in about 2021, just fulfilling NewScale's initial order. And then by 2023, all invested capital should be returned. And then if we look at our scenario of the mounting cliff, if we get just 15% of the replacement plus growth that I showed you earlier, then we expect to see about $2.5 billion worth of revenue with a $675 million in net income per year. Wouldn't you want a piece of that? Thank you for your time.
How big are these modules? Megawatts?
The NewScale design is 50 megawatts, and there are additional designers who are going even smaller, but they will all need this assembly factory.
And there's a cost figure?
For the 50 megawatt?
Yes, that is for the NewScale Power modules.
70 million, is that right? How much it costs?
Yeah, 70 million per module.
70 million.
Yes.
Without NuWorld, how is NewScale currently planning to build their reactors?
This. They want someone to do this, and that's because of actually Dylan is joining NewScale soon, and we've talked to their team extensively, and they'd love to see this happen.
Paid out for manufacturing partners.
Quick one. What are competitors going to say about having everybody's design built in the same factory?
Everyone designed and built the same factory?
You're talking about being a contract manufacturer for all the different nuclear
Yes.
designers out there. How are they going to feel about sharing their IP or losing their IP by having you build it for them?
I can take that.
You got it?
Yeah, we're planning on choosing the winner, and at this point, it's NewScale Power. So if their design for some reason falls through and they don't get qualified,
So you're going to work with one partner.
Precisely.
Okay.
All right, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.